here on Swag Radio with the Brown Eyed Girl Show. So we're talking to you about obstacles. And so I gave y'all that encouraging word, but I still got more for y'all. But right now we have Mo McCoy here with us. He's a filmmaker with Fireproof TV Films. So how you doing?
Yes, I'm doing great.
Good.
Yeah.
So before we go any further, what I want to ask, with the topic being any obstacles, what obstacles have you faced with starting your film company?
Oh man, we gonna be here for a while. Obstacles are a part of the business that I'm in. That's, I had to overcome obstacles every single film that I've done. So I'm gonna just take you back. I'm not gonna go way back. I'm just gonna go back about 7 years when I started my path down to filmmaking.
Okay.
And it's like every movie has something that you have to go through to make it, like, because you're creating. And so one of the first obstacles is, I would do a casting call, and then, 2 people would show up. How you make a movie with 3 people?
Exactly.
So,
more than that.
yeah. So I would go on the radio, TV, I promote hard, internet, flyers, posters, let people know I'm doing a movie, and then 2 people came. So that could make an average person want to quit, but I didn't quit. I just said, let's make a movie
Right.
with these couple people, and then other people, I just, start grabbing some of my family members, and I started grabbing, friends of mine that, wasn't really into acting, but put them into the film. So that's one obstacle I have every time we do a movie. Now we get 300 people at a casting call. So it's just like night and day. But the beginning movies, it was just hard getting people to come and understand what you're doing.
Right.
And then so I moved to Houston, and I had another casting call, and then 11 people came. But those 11 people were a videographer, an editor, the star of my movie. He looked just like, speaking of the movie, The Tickler horror film, it's a comedy. And my son, Jalen McCoy, drew a picture. I said I want to make a Halloween film because some very important people told me that to make a Halloween movie is the best movie where people kind of will come see movies. So
okay.
we came up with The Tickler, and he was a boy who got bullied when he was a kid, and then he grew up and became he would go to comedy shows, and comedians would talk about him so bad that he would go home and paint his face and come back, and he would kill the comedians by tickling them to death.
Oh wow.
So that's where The Tickler came from. But when I cast it, all I had was a drawn picture that my son made, and one of those 11 people that came in looked just like the picture. So I was like, bless you. I was like, wow, you don't have everything you want, but you'll have everything you need. So all I really needed was The Tickler for that movie. But then I started casting comedians. I would go around to comedy shows all over Houston, and then and I would cast comedians like my bro Little T. He's a funny comedian, so I said, man, I got to get you in this movie. And my communication skills wasn't all the best back then, and I didn't know how to tell people I wanted them in my movie.
Right.
Except for do a casting call, but nobody would show up, so I just asked them to be in it. We were in San Antonio doing a comedy show, one of his comedy shows, and we went back to a friend's house, and we filmed this part right there So I just started getting more creative with my filming. And so I end up getting that movie done, and that's why I'm out here. I'm promoting the premiere of this film and 2 other films that I got coming out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, most definitely. So obviously he had to move. I mean, he started with his casting calls small as his obstacle, and the more that he moved and it was able to get the word out, and his casting calls grew bigger. See that? Look at God on all that.
Yeah.
Look at God on all that.
Okay, check this out. My first film that I made, it was called Tomorrow's Never Promised.
Okay.
I took it back home to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and to the neighborhood I was born in, Highland. I did it right on Highland in college. I went to all the neighbors. I gave them paperwork that said I was doing a film. I asked their permission. They all gave their permission. They all came out. We were out there shooting a beautiful movie with the people in the neighborhood. It was 100 people out there. And I had the cranes, everything. And the police pulled up. And they said, "What's going on here?" It was beautiful, all of us working together. And they said, "What's going on here?" I said, "I'm a filmmaker. I'm making a film. Here's my permits." And boom, boom, boom. I gave them everything. Right. And they tore them up and said, "Get out of here." He took some people to jail and made everybody leave. And it was just real discouraging, that happened. But I said, God just gave me another day to try again. So what I did was I just took my cameras. I didn't announce anything. I just went and started filming again. And this time the police came and they said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm making a movie. I'm trying to make a movie."
Right.
And they said, "Oh, okay, go ahead." And
wow.
I finished up the movie. We premiered it in in Grand Rapids, Michigan at Studio 28. And the whole city came out, and that's kind of where I found my passion, is watching, something we worked so hard on, and we put it on the big screen, and people came out, watched it, they laughed, and then they gave us a standing ovation. And then that's where I really kind of found my passion in filmmaking. It's like, man, I got all these people to work together on one project, and then we put it together, and it's on the big screen. And then I did it again, and I made a movie called The Perfect Romance with all the people in my city, like in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Brandon Krayshawn, Nisha Nichols, Kendra Couture, Mr. 1204, Lacey Jones, Robert S. I put together a great cast, and we made that in 2014. Then we premiered it in 5 different theaters across West Michigan, and all of those were sold out, every single one of them. And then I took that movie to Houston with me, and I was just selling it on DVD by hand and just kept pushing it. And I said, I want to get it in Walmart. So I started calling Walmart and trying to figure out how to get my product in Walmart.
Right.
And I was going back and forth with them, and they were showing me the process, and it was, you needed money, you needed this and that, and I was checking things off my list. And then my stepdad, David Walker, he owns a company called DVD Time, where he frames blackness, and he only sells black DVDs, and it's a website called DVDtime.com, and he told me, "Why don't you check out Maverick Films?" So he showed me some of the movies that he sells, and on the back it says Maverick Films. And I saw another movie, Maverick Films. I said, all right, so I'll call Maverick Films. And I got the CEO on the line when I called. His name was Doug Schwabs. And I was telling him that I was a filmmaker, and I want to make 100 movies. And he was like, "Oh man, that's great." He said, "I've made 800." He was like, "What are some more of your goals?" I was like, "Well, I want to get the product in Walmart." He was like, "Man, I got 100 products in Walmart." Right. And so I was kind of excited because now I thought I had so much work ahead of me, but it's like God made a connection for us, and now my movie went to Walmart coast to coast. I travel a lot, so I was able to pull up into the, different Walmarts where I wouldn't expect it to be, and it was there, you know what I mean? And so I was like, man, that only God could do something like that, to overcome all those obstacles to get it to go worldwide, and it's still available right now on Amazon Prime. You can watch it. It's called The Perfect Romance. But then I went on to make the titular horror film, Angel horror film. It's about a black family that deals with a lot of adversity and overcomes it, and so when I made that movie, I had 2 car accidents. My house burned down. I lost my next house to Hurricane Harvey. Oh, wow. And I still made the movie. Wow. Still made it. We lost some of the footage, but we shot so much. We shot a lot to that movie, and that's the second movie that's coming out. Angel horror film is produced by Baby Paul, the Grammy-nominated producer, and I got all the people that wanted to work with me in that film, and all my friends and family, that I met in Houston. And we had a GoFundMe. That movie cost me $50,000, and I had to figure out how to fund the movie. Oh, wow. Of course, I didn't have $50,000. So I tried to study crowdfunding, and I came across Kickstarter. I tried a Kickstarter, and I didn't raise $1. And then I said, okay, I'm not going to give up. So I tried GoFundMe, and I just pushed it every day. And we raised $5,000 on GoFundMe, and they ended up giving me an award for that. And then I took that money and fed the crew with it. Oh. I had local.
Hey, the crew gotta get fed now.
Oh, you can't have no hungry actors. You can't have hungry actors. You want to die, you let your actors get hungry.
But so. I mean, obviously, there were, as you said, there was many obstacles that you faced, and coming within those obstacles, you were led into a path of people to help you direct that. So God is always in our favor, and He was definitely in your favor. Yeah. And you always just got to keep the faith.
Yep. And I always say, you just got to remember, man, every day is a new day. It's a new day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can take that new day and do whatever you want. Exactly. It don't matter what the problem is or the issue, it's already been overcome. It's already been, the problem has already been solved. So all you gotta do is think through it. The first step of thinking through a major problem, go to sleep.
Right.
Wake up. God wake you up another day.
Hey, that's a blessing already.
You got another day. A whole nother day to do it again, to try again, to make it right. Exactly. You know what I mean? To do what you got to do. So just don't feel like you can build a wall with one brick. You can't. It's not a wall, it's just a brick. But if you add a whole bunch of bricks together,
right,
you can make a wall. And then you can make a house.
Right, exactly.
You can make a skyscraper. Look downtown Detroit, GM, way up there. You know,
we gotta.
That was the idea.
We gotta remember.
Yeah.
Anything that we want to do, we can do it.
Yeah.
We can do anything through Christ who strengthens us. We just have to remember that. Fact. And that's one scripture that you will hear me say the most, because we can't do anything without Him. We can't. So we gotta just take a look at the obstacles of what we go through, and then because later in life when we come as he's telling his story, he overcame those obstacles, and now he's being successful in his craft. Of course, those other obstacles gonna come along, but he know how to deal with them. Mm-hmm. You'll know how to deal with them as they come along, and it's there to help keep bringing you up. Mm-hmm. So as more of those obstacles come up, you be like, oh, not this again. Okay, we dealt this the last time. Yeah. Okay, but that goes to say too, sometimes what will work in one situation may not always work in another situation. Yeah. That other situation that it may not work on, we may have to come back up and revisit that plan, reconstruct that plan, so we can be able to do it. So we're going to take a small break, and we're going to get into some music, and we'll be right back on Brown Eyed Girl Radio.
Yeah, yay. Shout out to the Cash Ready Street team. Yeah, King Zeus.
Yo.
Promo Queen.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your girl in the need. I got Mo McCoy in here, filmmaker. We getting it down here. Swag Radio, Swag Nation, baby.
Yeah, come see my movies.
Yep.
I got movies coming.
Yep.
3 movies in a row.
Yep. We talking about obstacles on the day, and we all faced with those obstacles. And I just had to bring it to you because before I even started the show, there were so many obstacles that I had faced just before I even did it. So I definitely got through a lot, and I'm here today bringing y'all this show. How about that? I love inspiring others, and the more that I keep doing it, I know God's going to keep blessing me. So definitely. And I definitely had to. Hey, how you doing? I got something for Zay Zay. I'm gonna take it to Nay.
Thanks for watching. Filmmaker Mo McCoy. Love more, laugh more, give more, and you'll live more. Shout out to the Cash Ready Street team. Shout out to King Zeus, Promo Queen, for setting up the whole interview. Now we gotta go to the next one. Thank y'all for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Quiet on the set. I could do a clean version too.